Hello, and welcome to 5 Minutes with Nate. This month's topic is data. Today I want to talk about being careful with the easy answer for test scores, the easy interpretation of test scores. One famous quote is that you have three kinds of lies: lies, big lies, and statistics. Well, I'm going to disagree with that. Statistics itself is just numbers, and numbers of themselves don't lie. Average, finding the median, finding the top score, that's numbers. There's no lie inherent in that. My question, though, and how I pick the numbers to fit the answer that I want, that's the lie. Or I pick the numbers because they're easy and simple to throw out there. Maybe I'm not telling the story in the right way. So I've kind of four things to be careful with. First, sometimes, especially in IEP meetings, we just throw out the numbers, rapid fire numbers. And then we're like, okay, I'm done. Maybe the numbers alone doesn't mean anything. What's the context? What's the content? What's the maximum score? Is it good? What compared to the past? When we just throw out a number without an interpretation or explanation, it really doesn't mean a thing. Next, standard scores. A standard score isn't like a what percent is right. They got a 47% last time, now they have a 57%, they've improved. Standard scores are different. If I give a test this year, and a student got, let's say, a 86 standard score, and next year the student got an 86 again, if it was a regular kind of score, we'd be like, they've plateaued, they haven't improved at all. But standard scores are different. The test expectations have moved up by 1 year, which means an 86 shows 1 year of improvement for that student, because the standard score has remained the same and not changed. That's actually great. The student grew a year. If we go beyond that standard score, that means it's more than 1 year's worth of growth. Third, age or grade equivalent. Ooh, I don't really like those. People tend to say, maybe a student's in 7th grade, their reading level, 3rd grade equivalent. Now, we got to be careful. Especially, did the test say they have actually 3rd grade skills? Or maybe not. Maybe the grade equivalent doesn't mean that. Often in the past, when I was teaching students, a student would have a great test day, answer everything. And a 7th grade student got an 11th grade math level. Well, no. They didn't actually do 11th grade math. His level was equivalent. Now, really, what does that mean? If I have, let's say, a student who 3rd grade equivalent, really it means their score is equal with the average score of that age or grade. It doesn't mean they have those skills. It doesn't mean they don't have other advanced skills. It means their score is equal with the average. That's really not a powerful score, a powerful number, really. Especially unless the test says that they have that actual skill level, the equivalent may be giving the wrong picture. All right, fourth, range of scores. Like I just mentioned, the average for that age is something specific. But sometimes we look at a student and we're like, if we look at that straight score, they're not on level. But really we need to use the range, the standard deviation. They're still in the range for their age. Means, do we need to panic? No. Means, okay, how do we support them to maintain that grade level? Because they're not showing the perfect, simple on grade level, but they're still in the range of what's normal. So we have to think about the range of scores. So standard deviation, sometimes the error. If we gave the test again, would the student have a pretty similar score or a pretty varied score? That's a very different story. Often we look down on students at their skills, but they might be in the range when we look at the range instead of the single score. Then we can give the right kinds of supports because they're not delayed, but they're also not ahead, and we need to support that. Okay, so those are 4 tips, ideas for today. It's important to think about how do we explain and interpret the numbers, especially for test scores. What message, what story are we trying to tell parents? Are we looking at the child holistically, or are we just kind of picking and choosing what matches what we want? All right, that's 5 Minutes with Nate. Have a great day.